It's the heavy
Now they
favorites.
gotta try and beat Fnatic,
Okay,
which
we've
is
got
another
Fnatic
one
on
that
defense, we've got
hasn't
Vitality
happened yet for
on
Vitality.
attack.
It's certainly a big accolade to claim.
Chat, I can turn game up louder, right? It looks kind of low.
They've been looking fantastic, and Zeiss put it best. Let's see if Safe can continue
let's put it
his
here.
run, because he's been looking unbelievable in most games. You saw him after the last game. Said, congratulations, you're absolutely sick. Keep in mind, last two maps, he was 20-9 at one stage.
Maybe I can do it more.
Man, I sucked on that first map. Just the kind of mentality
never good
this guy
enough.
has.
Never good enough. Well, we've seen similar things from Miniboo recently. I think it's just that superstar mentality. I'd say as well that the player that's been impressing me has been Trex. Like, I think he has truly been unbelievable on an individual level. And also we saw some massive
it's very true.
step-ups
Trex
from
had a
Hero
big
as
step
well,
up.
that new boy on the block. So I think a lot to be excited for going into this series and kicking it off on the choice of Fnatic Sunset. One we expect them to win, but already it's going to be that first kill traded out even.
Oh
nice
boy,
nade.
that's a nice Omen flash.
Chronicle, and now he's in a lot of trouble with Sender picking him up, but a response from Durka drops the spike. Side angle's good. Managed to keep this neck and neck with Safe tagged low. A good position until Boaster falls. Now the pressure's all on Durka's shoulders, and the cam has certainly revealed his position. Tries to isolate the fight up top, but
Okay,
the
nicely
swing
done
is a
from
little
Safe.
quicker
I
from
realized he had a good timing on
Catches
that.
the angle. The
Okay, we'll
wall
keep an
bang
eye on
to
the
start us
pistols,
off
1-0.
1-0.
Dude, imagine
I
Vitality
think this is
somehow
always gonna
just
be a
went on a
talking point. I
massive
think
run
we
and
go
they could
back to
seed one. That would be
last year,
insane.
Fnatic with a team to beat at every single
Surely
stage.
no
and
one
even
has
though
that in their
Liquid
pick'ems.
didn't quite have the same run or the same opportunities. Everybody looked at it as Durka #1, Safe #2. Safe does not want to be #2.
Go on a run?
In
Yeah,
any
this would be the
scenario.
closest we would
Like,
have to that.
At times he'll come across as like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever role for the team. But the real thing about this guy is he wants to win. He wants to be the best.
Right.
And I believe
Standard
in this
stuff.
series, the
2 deaths
only
allowed.
goal is going to be to outdo Durka.
Got to at
and
least
win
keep
them
an
the
eye
game.
on Darker, so they could definitely go
It's hard
A,
to
try and
tell
get this
what
orb if they wanted
order
to.
those priorities will be in, realistically. But for Vitality as a squad, they've been heating up. They've been looking better. Now the pressure's off. They know they're going to champs, but seeding could be a big deal as well. That international scene, you end up going out bottom seed here. And have some tough opening games.
Well, that's the crazy thing, that either Foot or Heretics will be the #4 seed for EMEA. So one of those groups is going to be interested. If it's Heretics, you could have the second place team at the last event as the bottom seed. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's wait and see, because we all know that Heretics have got a pretty decent record when it comes to Foot. And the same for Fnatic versus Vitality. Well, we're looking to see multiple times today if these teams can turn the tide on what has been the history of these battles. I definitely think, with no questions, this is the best Vitality I've ever looked, though. 100%. If they were going to do it, if they were going to make a run to the final, this would be it.
Uh-oh, Sender, you're not.
This is a little scary. The Classics managed to catch
Wait, we
one
can
off
smoke
guard.
this off
That's
as well?
Sender down, but they are not going to give up
Boaster.
that rifle. Taking the
Boaster.
space, taking the fights, although it is actually recovered by
Smoke
Boaster.
it off.
Doesn't seem to last too long. Quickly
the hell?
taken out of his hands, put into Heroes. Managed to recover. Let's see what he can do with it. Already the first, but the second shot a little shy. We go back to the Classics. Tough to make this one work, although they've already done decent damage. Let's see what more they can manage. I assume Runner's going to be...
Yeah, a little bit slow to react on that, honestly.
He goes down. 2 rifles carried forward. It's not the end of the world. It's a winnable fight, and he's jumped over the trap, but they've heard him.
Yeah, I think
that could have gone a lot worse.
Currently is. The only thing
I think Boaster thought the spacing was going to be way better than it was.
Which might be the plan.
But you could definitely smoke insta flash either way. They got close for like the jewels. It's like he tunnel visioned on the gun too much instead of just helping his team out.
Already having 4 on the board. I think him and Durka are
Tried to get the gun, yeah, man. Just
thus far. So we could be
smoke
having
it fast.
some early showstoppers, although not quite for the next round.
Did he have smoke? Yeah, I double checked. I
I
like to double check before I pull people out.
Next round, where the real weight starts to come in. Talking compositions, I mean, we heard it
That's
from
what we
the
do,
desk
yeah.
as well. I think for me, Tom, I'm always going to side with Fnatic when it comes to comps. I like their Viper. I think it brings a lot to the table, but even here we see the value of Breach, putting some players out of position, and presumably Vitality, you're going to have a couple of big stacked up plays ready to breach off that utility. I'm excited to see.
This composition by Fnatic, I believe, has been played 14
dude,
times.
the timing on this double prime.
It is one that they've
4
played the entire year.
What?
So it's something
4
that they're
area
incredibly
mine.
confident in.
Dude,
They've
how do
even
I...
had
What's the
sort of
4 meant to be
slips
there?
in form on this
I
map,
appreciate
and
the
they've
prime.
come
Thank you,
right
thank
back,
you.
not
And
changing
Zello
the
Valorant as
position.
well. 20
Okay,
months, dude.
players
Appreciate you so
change,
much.
but I don't think
Thank
anybody
you
was
too
sat
for
there
the
going,
prime.
"Oh, no, Leo's the problem." I don't think that's ever been said in a competitive environment.
I'm curious to see, especially around this A main control for Vitality, that's where the struggles are when you don't have the Viper wall round after round blocking out control on your attack, right? So now they're going to do that differently. You already see Shrouded Steps used to cross over towards this door. It was opened up and the players filtered out of the angle afterwards.
Is Runner playing his best Valorant on a Sentinel? It's pretty good timing for you to write this one, right? How can I say no after that kill? I think he looks a lot more comfortable. I think there's less pressure, and when you're doing a side-by-side of safe runner duelist, I would always want safe there. Wow, they're lunatics, aren't they?
A lot of kills, and now both players from Fnatic split.
Yeah, I don't like these rounds from Fnatic.
I feel like this has been a common theme over the last
don't like what I'm seeing at the moment.
Vitality have done amazingly well in their bonus rounds. Hero hoping for a bit of a miracle, and even Chronicle's rotation, and unless somehow Runners
cool was strange. I mean, they're trying to get a kill back. You gotta shout out like Vitality being ready for it, having numbers there, but
it just has to be a save at this point from Fnatic, just holding on to those remaining weapons. And yeah, Vitality have started this off fantastically well.
Big factor is Runner. Just finding that kill on C is what forces
you think Breach
the fight.
instead of Viper is better on Lotus? I think they're both fine.
Move towards B,
they're both good at stuff. They're both
they're just looking.
Allow for a little bit of weaknesses. I think it's all good. I would personally always have Viper, but I think Breach is, people haven't fully worked out how to play against the Breach yet. I would say teams on attack maybe don't exploit over towards B enough when you're playing against it.
He's about to swing the angle. They're going to have a fight, and Chronicle wins it. Okay, one rifle at least carried forward for Fnatic, but a 3-0
Yahoo
start
with the
for
9
Vitality.
months. Thank you with the tier 1, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and a lot of it just comes down to, as you said, that opening kill, being patient for the re-aggression, which they win those fights as well, and then just being able to surround the remainder. 3-0. The purchase for Fnatic, it's not going to be bad. There's still a few pieces missing here and there, like shields, and one away on a showstopper.
Alright, we've got to start paying attention because Fnatic squeeze out a buy on this one, and we're close to a lot of ults, especially Durkers. Could be going for this orb. Vitality know that he wants this orb. Everyone's flying out towards it. 5 on 3 onto A. Yeah, they're wrecks, man. They're getting overwhelmed. Wait, Sender.
But making it away with the cover of Hero. 2 kills.
Yeah, nicely done. I was worried for him a little bit here.
It's Sender stepping up to
good insta ult over towards side, but might be a waste.
Vitality have lost a lot of health on Sender and a little bit on Trex, but Rifle still to fight with. There's a good chance for Fnatic
I'm
to
liking
get
this
back
though.
into
They're
this
fighting
round,
together.
They've lost Chronicle. The head peek angle
I'm 100% calling a timeout if I'm Fnatic coach at the moment.
To exploit one showstopper now online, ready to be used, and it might be dispensed in this round. Although the 1 versus 2, harder to find that value.
Then they're using true stretched. I think so from the replays. A lot of us, I've seen a lot of people asking about that. From the replays, it looks like it, yeah.
Even wary that he's somehow wrapped around back past him. Both players now going to be spotted, but it's too little too late. Sender with another big round. The IGL leading the way as Vitality are going to have their 4th already.
It's a scary start for that defensive side.
What is the team most akin to Astralis and Valor till date? Would you, chat, what are we saying? Probably Fnatic. That's like the closest, and I would say that Fnatic are only like 10% of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, because what Astralis was doing in terms of being so dominant, I don't think we've ever had anything. So the closest would be Fnatic, but again, that's like a... I don't think you would ever make that comparison, if that makes sense. We never really had dominancy. Like the most we have in this game, because the meta changes so much, is like 4 months of a team being the best. Basically, yeah. Genji have a chance. Yeah, give Genji a chance or a final, then
one of the first times we've really seen the man advantage kick off.
Genji would make more sense.
In Fnatic's favor. Obviously, as we said, the weaponry is still not the best, but with a man advantage, showstopper, and Nightfall, this round is very much doable.
Yeah, but dude, I like what Vitality are doing again. Just nice and early, making sure the time doesn't go down low. They realize they pushed out towards A, obviously with the death. And it's hard to play this round without any kind of smokes. So we'll see what they'll do.
Although I do see Boaster.
Probably like one stairs, 3-person hit or something. Okay, they're going for a B hit. So if they make enough sound here, and Darker doesn't expect this, they have a good chance.
Vitality, though, are moving into B. Well, at least it seemed that way. Durka probably even had that information after the broken door.
Oh, yeah, so doable. Now what do you call? Oh my god.
And Trax is ready to strike the surprise position.
There's no way. Hey, nicely handled from Vitality though. This is good, dude. They look good at the moment.
Of Vitality, leaving it to the late round has worked out wonderfully. Unfortunately, it's just that aggressive position of Durka that ends up catching them. It reveals everyone else on the map, gives the gap to Trax. And although it's definitely not going to go down in history as his prettiest spray, the job got done in the end. For Althea and Chronicle, or more so Althea, there's
these
a
teams
question
just
of
saving strats. Nah, not really. There can be like an element of it slightly, but it would never be like
not too far gone.
A lot of saving strats. Like the closest to it would be like maybe there's a comp team that's saving, and in Fnatic's
we'll make sure that it doesn't get too far
choose they may be saving a map by banning Abyss.
Yeah, a lot of the time we talk about economic damage, and sure, Vitality will invest a little bit more, but they've got a good backing of credits to work with and a 5-0 lead. That's the most important part. A timeout has been called by Fnatic. They're not happy with how this game's been going, and, well, understandably.
But they were close.
Even still, that round, it started
Okay,
out
I mean,
well.
this has to happen.
What makes it tough
this round was a lot better, though, from Fnatic.
Came into it probably expecting to do
like
a lot
better.
But really fight for the next. Then they had the advantages, they had positions to play from, and it falls apart piece by piece.
Third time's a charm. If you had a team you could coach in CS, which would it be?
Carry a lot of weight with Fnatic putting all their credits in, and that showstopper.
Like when they were actually formed.
Yeah, the problem is
I
now
don't know. Dude, maybe
4 ults are available on the other side.
I don't know, anything with ZywOo in, man. I'm a big ZywOo believer. I think he's the best to do it.
We're still yet to see some of the big players on the Fnatic side get off the mark, especially like Alpha's got his first couple of kills, but in a 2 versus 4, and then Chronicle's still only on that singular kill, which he got while saving. So there hasn't been much to write home about. Obviously, again, I think both these teams, the expectation there is to have a better attack side, but even still, Vitality running off the momentum, running off the high of qualifying yesterday.
Damn, what a hard timeout. You got so many ults on this one.
Coming into this round.
But you do send the Omen out, then Omen can TP away if they're all dumping.
Now there's a response.
You know Vitality, you're aware of just how low your money is, so they're going to be using all their ults into this one. We don't spam with the Odin. They don't know this is here yet. They're just waiting for the door. And a lot of time you give it away by spamming early, so I like this. This should kind of, in theory, secure a kill. Especially if you practice it enough.
For now, though, the opportunity not being given, he's seconds away from taking that spray. And if he does, you can see it's lined right up. He's toying with the idea.
The setup with the turret here would work, right? You know the teams that use the camera to spot here. Maybe turret will work better for that. Do tight angles so when they press the button, you get slowed and get spammed.
Only the turret remains on the B side.
I'd have to see in practice. I don't know if that's a thing.
Gonna start falling back.
At the moment, from Vitality, this is a good round, right? A pressure. B pressure. They only haven't got B pressure at the moment. 40 seconds, got to make some kind of call. Then they can open the door, create pressure, TP to C if needed. Spike going over towards, Spike going over. What is Spike doing? Okay, fake over towards C, 3 people here. The call is A. Darker has ult.
Just seeing if he can find anything on the back of it, trying to really sell this idea. But now that Odin,
yeah, but you kind of see what I mean, right? Normally when you hide it, you're good for a kill, 5 HP, a little bit unlucky.
I think they might try and double back into B, but it is getting quite late.
Yeah, B's definitely the right place. Showstopper has been activated, but not defined.
That's the low HP though.
It was the 5 HP player that's
we've got 10 seconds to plan this.
Spike on its way towards the side. Boaster could get
in here. Boaster's going for a big play. Oh, safe.
Only the clock left to tick down.
Yeah, it was hard, man. 2 avenues. He had to cover both. He had the one on the right. They just cleared the left. And they need more players here. Yeah, I mean, I was just worried in general. 35 seconds, the Spike's like going to C, then going back to A.
Nightfall that just came in a little bit too late, and it seemed like everybody was so tunnel visioned in wrapping around the rest of the site that they don't actually hold onto the one angle that could have denied that plant. good initiative by both. So it's still a little bit worrying that it takes such a sort
His
of like
defense, yeah, the tether was good.
to actually turn around, especially when a
tether default
was invested initially. I guess it was invested by
that
both
old classic.
10 seconds left. But we actually saw ults
well, so he did see him jump down, but then I guess because he's moving to the right, he thought he was going on the right. I think Boaster played that well.
That attack, so the only one remaining that's of high value.
Yeah, we've got to pay attention to these. Well, obviously the round, but these two getting a reset. No money on this one, so big round. Vitality used a good amount of ults into this.
Super passive hold. That's it. Most other teams, you're seeing them try and claim A. You're going to go for rubble almost every single round. They are all sat back.
Yeah, it's a hyper passive play. Again, they're just looking to punish some of the moves that Vitality are making. There is a lot of space given on C, like the fact that there's no mount.
Close to the best IGL. He's in the top 5. You gotta it's hard because it's like this with teams as well. Some metas will suit other IGLs. The impressive thing about Boaster is he's had multiple metas where they've kind of stayed a consistent team. And this meta is pretty, I'm not saying it's fully reliant, but you definitely have to frag out a little bit heavier as an IGL at the moment on certain maps with double initiator. So he's done a good job of like actually doing that when most people are criticizing his fragging. Oh, that's a shot and a half. Wait, they're gonna...
it's tough for Vitality. They'll need to dig deep, and that they've done. Trex and Kicks equalizing it. Those shots are so close. Kicks
no way. Oh my god, okay, this is sick though. The money was really good. It's so durable, man. Big Prowler.
Just up against Durka, swapped out to the Vandal up top. It's a crazy
no way.
Play.
No way.
Be punished. Not yet, and Trex is down to the classic.
There's no way he didn't win that. Somehow Durka's alive.
Again, like I think this
he just needed to calm down a little bit.
Like having 3 players in the close vicinity, but none of them in spot for the Rolling Thunder.
I hate those kind of rounds because Trex has done unreal to get it to this spot.
For that plant to come in. And then they're expecting.
And then it's like final hurdle. He's just
still. I'm looking mainly at
Trex. It, man. He's fumbled
sure, he doesn't get that final kill, but everything he does before that, it's just again they're trying to get back into the site, and he's just obliterating them. I think this guy's individual skill has been just fantastic throughout the entirety of this second split. Come on.
Yeah, it's devastating. Because again, most people wouldn't have got to that spot anyway. But
when it comes to Gorilla, he's been someone that's very proactive, even if it's just a couple of rounds, even if they're incredibly close. That came down to a 1 versus 1, could have gone either way. He's not going to wait for it to get out of control. And if he does, like, yeah, if this comes back even to, like, I'd say 5-5, we'll probably see another pause. Like, he wants to get in there early, make sure that the team is in the right
Champs
place.
20, top 20.
But now, unfortunately...
Problem is you're probably not going to have too many from Vitality, and if you're going to have anyone from Vitality, it is safe.
Kicks, maybe with a Guardian and some
also, you got to take, like, split.
They've been really
you got to take like the whole year into account, and Trex has only been performing the kind of his peak in what, 3 weeks? I would say.
At least in EMEA. Sorry, Zach.
Mini not in Berlin? No, not at the moment, but he is going to Champs.
He got 1 kill.
He did. And it was a good kill.
Karen is making it to top 20? Yeah, Karen's been in the top 10.
I think Vitality have been slightly better with it.
Yeah, no. In the
Karen owned me, man, by chilling out in split 1.
He's gone for a spec.
Karen's a big game player only, it seems.
That's the spray I was talking about. That's exactly the one. Boaster's doing it time and time again. Now Durka takes up the mantle. A gorgeous spray. Safe and sender.
Oh my god, dude, Sender's a lunatic.
Stop there. It's a kill. It's coming. No, he doesn't continue the spray. 23 bullets. Oh, a little bit off, but the damage done, and Vitality's early idea to go fast towards A is now stopped. It's halted completely.
Yeah, so you know what I was talking about a little bit earlier. It's like a thing for a team. I would probably have someone like go on a server and then get people on his team to kind of act what you would do normally, so that he can see them through the wall, so he has a better idea of where to spam. Probably like the best way of practicing that, just so you get all of the you can see all your teammates through the wall.
I don't think there's much to deny this.
The closest way of doing it, you'd have to replicate it as close to that as possible.
B site, and I think that's going to be yeah, here it is.
You could do that on a lot of maps. We used to do that a little bit in Liquid. Like just certain spam spots that you'd have to know. I would have done it on Lotus, right? This one here, cracking it early.
3 make that 4 players there. 1 inside of main for Trex.
Yeah, and they've prioritized the wrong spot, Vitality. It's pretty much all down to Trex, in my opinion.
Their fights afterwards. This is where the real trouble begins, and well, that ult is not going to be fully committed. They've tapped it. Here comes the big swing, but all guns from Fnatic.
Yeah, Trex goes down, not doable. I'm gonna just talk about what I talk about when I see this every single time over towards B. Teams that plant anywhere on B, just because of how the map is, everyone seems to be prioritizing Hobbit, and you gotta prioritize B main.
Hold off any of those stingers,
this is the priority, not this one. Obviously, they didn't have much choice with how fast Fnatic created pressure, but
rounds in a row now for Fnatic. As said, that was a low purchase for Vitality.
Yeah, it is also a low round, so I don't want to go too into it, but it's good to talk about.
But in a post plant, not doing any damage at all, it's not going to feel great.
No.
3 in a row?
It definitely looks like the wind's
in a
been
row.
taken out of their sails. Fnatic,
not too bad money-wise. Hero 2 away from an ult.
Vitality. Well, we've seen this a couple of times. Nade, though, on the same old spot.
Wait, that's nuts.
Utility isn't.
Yeah, they've done a little bit of research into where they like to nade on this one, and we have a molly in front of it and a molly and an alarm bot behind it.
I will say. Behind the door, you at least have the environmental armor.
Are you using the word ambitious for bad?
I prefer the B site on Haven or Lotus. Bro, they're so different though.
I know you're a fan of the gun.
What do I actually prefer?
I like it, and I like using it behind a wall, but rubble maybe isn't the correct wall to do that.
Probably Haven, I guess. But.
It's a little too thick. But, you know, as a snake in the grass, look, every round, Durka's been in tree. Every single round. So where do you think he is this round, if you're Vitality? You probably think he's in tree. You've even heard the Odin spraying away. So now they try to focus. Oh, no,
Durka did very good. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice hold from Fnatic.
Instead, yeah, why not? Just swing them with the Odin. What is this? I take back everything I said, Durka. I apologize.
Yeah, but shout out to Boaster, though. Boaster did insane as well. They both did.
And the round already secured, more or less. He's still going.
He is still going.
And this will be interesting, right? Fnatic have that one round that you kind of want to do really early on over towards Lotus, especially where you go A, where you have like 1-2. Right, so you have 1-2, and then if they try and go back out towards A, you can just heavy punish, play off each other. Shout out to Boaster. His open flash was like perfect. Shout out to Durka, he got Yuto dumped, managed to get out. And now it would be interesting to see if Fnatic are like so confident with how well that worked out that they might just leave 1 after they push A, and then they can just reinforce heavier. And maybe Vitality won't be
Nobody really wants to push
as confident going back A once they get pushed.
Started rolling with Boaster making a last-second play to stop.
Have I heard anything from Cryptix? I speak to Crippy a good amount. I probably speak to him the most out of the old Liquid lot. I mean, we were always friends before anyway. He's doing good though.
Durka playing on his own.
That's what you're asking.
But you have a paranoia to get the first player, and then the one-way smoke. So again, he's just able to spam those bullets before anybody can even get close. Solid support on the Fnatic side.
Cryptic's taller than Mini. Yeah,
Durka.
Just by a little bit though, I think.
He is Durkin. It's Durkin time.
I've heard you enjoy that.
I don't typically enjoy it, but it does happen to me.
Okay.
Let me tell you that. The ranked stacks can be tough at times. Vitality, lots of weaknesses in this round. Two sheriffs and a ghost.
I like this from Fnatic. Right, we were talking about pushing out towards A and having one person here maybe. What they were actually doing at the beginning is they had Boaster here and Raze here, so they could kind of change it up a little bit. That's a big kill, man. Big kill, good info.
As they're soon to find out, Hero the first to take him down.
And now we have one person here with the pressure.
Yeah, the only positive of Trex going down.
This is good from Vitality as well. This is a pretty nice Lotus from everyone at the moment, by the way.
The start they were looking for, and again, it's a switch up. You've had these super passive rounds. Now you have another where you've just got Durka massively aggressive with that Odin, but also has a showstopper to back him up. And instead, they're going to try and pressure onto Chronicle. Runner's done well. Able to isolate that opener. He'll get the information
the
of where
flash was just unbelievable from Kicks. Timing of it.
Safe doesn't seem happy with that.
Oh my god, the double flash, man.
The flash is perfect. The
yeah, back to back from Kicks.
He's still going. He's still committing to the fight. Boaster's down. And now the Odin, desperately trying to root him from position, will do so. But there's a few more players here. That might not bother Durka, but the paranoia certainly will. He's sent back.
Oh, I was going to say, we might not put an ult into this, but here we are.
Get Sender, the player who could take him down. That was close. Well, Hero has some info. He knows where one of them are, but Runner's going to be a little bit more difficult to find. He spotted him. The information doesn't come at a cost, but the time ticking low is really the concern. Finding these fights will be difficult. Oh, I thought Sender had backed around the corner. He was on the ramp, still a chance. Hero, he's pulling out the short.
He's so unlucky. This kid is so good.
Yeah, the time may have already gone. It was going to be very close anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good idea at the time and realized he had to just go for a fast insta-play.
If you go to the clutch percentages, he's actually right at the top of the moment, which is absurd for a player that's standing in for a team.
He did the right play. Yeah, he had to insta-send it. Okay, he wouldn't have had time for the defuse anyway. Minimap, yeah, he came up on the minimap. The spam from C.
After a 4-round streak, managed to win one where they had weaker weaponry, obviously. It came with a little bit of help from Safe and that raw individual skill. Now, though, a complete switch up and he's gone. That's not the man you want to lose early in this round.
Yeah, that's not the plan.
No, it really
I don't think that one was the plan on that.
But too little, too late.
A nice change up from Durka. They've been switching the pass and it has the Odin over towards A. They say they like to do this a lot, so you can't work out exactly what the setup is once you hear the Odin. And then there's the Odin.
He was still walking.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm almost certain of it. They must have quickly tapped the stop key. Gorgeous stuff. 5 versus 3. Vitality, well, they win a round, and Fnatic seem right back in control. Timing could be key. Boaster, one player's already slipped through, now 2 posted, flash to go through, he's forced back. No, he's not. Boaster will stand his ground and find a kill for his trouble.
This is looking rough now. I think the initial plan was to try and use the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, poor guy's about to get melted.
Well, there's absolutely no shot that's going to be thrown in this round. And Chronicle, I'm going to be honest, and Andaluthia flawless, but that's a very different triple kill to what we saw with Durka. I think Durka was using about maybe 200, 250 bullets a round, whereas I genuinely think Chronicle used about 6.
That's nasty. His first was gorgeous. I want to see the rest. I mean, that one's fairly easy, but this one, long range, just a few bullets. Look at that! Every shot was on the head, even after he died. That was fantastic. 6-5. I like that we're getting the
low buy. We get a judge on attack. Trex, they have good ults. They can still win this one Vitality, even though the buy's not good. They go heavy over towards C, pick up this orb on Trex, and they could just insta-send it. They could easy just combo 2, save 1 for the after plant.
A few pieces missing here in the last round. Safe. It's going to be avoided. This has happened a couple of times.
Yeah, okay, so they get onto site. They use Safe's ult. They pick up the orb once they realize it's 100% fine, and now we got Fatal into Breach Ult. Fatal for Fatal. Make sure they don't flood in. And then we got Breach Ult, and they need to take some map control so they can just breach like Heaven or Waterfall or here.
Yeah, Vitality have to fight forward with their back. Now giving up. Scrapping straight towards.
Yeah, that was a good round from Vitality. I like the idea from Fnatic to push behind.
Shots not landed and difficult to get around here with the operator. Durka's hoping they push him, make a mistake, but Vitality don't need to press forward. Although they might need to press.
Big jewel on sight from Trex.
Puts the pressure on. They have to split their attention. Not anymore. Down to a stinger.
Oh my god, he might long range him. Yeah, I was looking at the HP thinking, hold up, that's so doable.
Already quite far gone. 7-5 to close this one out. After a 5-0 start, I'm sure Vitality would have wanted more, but it's not the worst half.
No, for sure. And I think especially those
really good half. I would say that these comps are maybe a little bit defense-sided. In 7 on attack here is still great.
I feel like Safe and Sender especially just did fantastic work being able to take that aggressive spot towards the spawn and just stop the rotations. We saw Durka, well, fighting until the very end of the round, just trying to get in and get that control. And when you don't have players coming from that angle, it's going to be so much more difficult. 7-5.
Helps when you got 3 ults as well.
Not bad from Vitality, but as I said, when they've had their struggles, I definitely think it's been on that defensive side. And that's the same for most teams. And if I think about this map and I think about Fnatic, it's always been about their attack.
Well, that's it. This is where they'll put the rounds up, and we'll see if Vitality have enough of a buffer to stand this storm. A few pistols upgraded, 3 ghosts for the side of Fnatic. Same can be said for Vitality. Early aggression on C, quelled by the one-way smoke, put down by Sender. Vitality, well, have a little bit of a lurk to watch out for, but with a trap covering the walk up. And
we'll keep an eye on pistols, by the way. 1-0 for Vitality.
Problem. It's one player in the form of Chronicle left towards A. The rest fighting for some control of Rubble. But what that indicates to us, definitely, is that this squad wants to take control.
Ever played CS2? Nah, I didn't even download it, man. I'm done with that game.
Take it in the other direction. At least that's my assumption.
Doesn't mean I think it's bad or anything. Personally, I'm done with it.
See if they follow through with.
definitely playing with a lot of sound cues. I guess the other thing as well is when you don't have the utility on that side of the map, you want to hold on to it. So you've got the turret that will watch towards B while Alpha is still alive. But there's nothing to really hold unless he sits within the middle. So it means that they keep that control. They have now doubled back, but it hasn't really pulled any form of rotation. Still got plenty of utility to play with. Runner trying to hold them back a little bit further. Spike dropped. He now knows that the rest of the team are going to be running in his direction and even using that cam to slow them a little more. Fnatic are running out of time.
15 seconds. Looks like they're shifting attention towards the broken door, but there's a nade waiting for them. That will run the clock even
time's pretty low on this one, guys. Kind of messed this one up a little bit.
Certainly with the support of Trex.
Yeah, a little bit late on this.
And he's running for the
yeah, Runner's just out of there. Okay, double pistol.
And if he did, it wouldn't matter anyway. 8-5 and a pistol for
A
Vitality.
little bit slow on this. Obviously, the delay was good, but we're breaking Hobbit door like what, 15, 20, 18 seconds?
To isolate a duel, the cam to slow them again, and that was the whole plan in this round. Like, it was less about whether you won the fights, and it was more about just making sure all of those battles were isolated. I think
it didn't work out too great,
the amount of time left, the time to break the door.
What about Overwatch 2? Nah, I never played that either. Dude, I uninstalled Overwatch as soon as I did an event for them.
The spike as well.
Leave it at that.
An important pistol round for Vitality, to say the least. Again, I feel like they've been the masters so far of winning their opponent's map choice, breaking streaks. I believe it's been 4 map in a row for Fnatic.
Okay, 2 deaths.
After breaking the 10 and the 6 of Heretics yesterday, 4 doesn't seem like that much.
No. Certainly a manageable gap. That's not the best of opening duels for Fnatic. Dirk has gone through. Trap was destroyed, but so was he. With Alfie trying to take space on the other side, he certainly didn't find a wide open site. Vitality have not been
untiltable. I hope everything's going right, dude.
So far in his early days on the defense. I like what I'm seeing. It's a round where Fnatic don't have much to work with.
Yeah.
And, well,
looks like we're not even going to get 2 deaths. Don't even get 1 death, right?
Quick triple swing should put this one to bed.
Oh, okay.
Not quite the Andalusia flawless,
but
close enough.
It doesn't matter. Free guns, armor rebuy.
There'll be the retrieval of any extra weaponry that is available to them. While now Fnatic once again need to try and break back, and bear in mind the way that the last half started was a 5-0 streak for the side of Vitality. They won their bonus round, and look at what they've got here. They're coming in with 5 rifles nonetheless, so Fnatic have got to be careful that that one doesn't happen again. Otherwise they might be heading to Sunset with a 0-1.
Pass hold here, and it's gonna dry swing.
Runner does well to do a bit of damage, but he's dropped off ribs.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, that's really nice. That's a nightmare to deal with. I didn't realize that would. Oh, that's cool. Still think it's crazy risky what they went for, but
the other side of the map locked out. The question of damage comes into play for Fnatic. This is a 1 round.
The horn, yeah. I guess you can only hit that if you're past this angle, right?
I don't expect him to use it
have the strongest arm ever.
2 players left, unless he really wanted to try and just flex. And well, he's added another kill anyway, even without having that showstopper. To say that it's not been the best map so far from Fnatic wouldn't be surprising, but Dirk, I believe that's already maybe his 20th kill. Like, it really has been fragging off the chains, and well,
very nice though.
Last round wasn't quite an Andalusia
okay,
well,
we get a big round. Everyone that goes down for Vitality, well, Vitality lose this round, they got eco, and Fnatic pretty much back in it.
Well,
they got Razor.
Safe came in with the idea of outdoing Durga. He certainly got his hands full in that task.
Yeah, we'd be like, yeah, no, I saw about the team.
Yeah,
just wanted to make
I actually
sure,
never cared about the head-to-head. All I cared about was the win. Different story if you swap that kill feed.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, just eco kills, you know, just eco kills.
Yeah, exits. You know, they
damn,
lost so
bro,
many
on
rounds.
the mic.
They're just playing exits. It's easy, man.
Trex gets the Outlaw out.
Vitality, I like the buy. We've got an Odin and an Outlaw. And I'll tell you what else we got. A smile on my face. Excited to see how this one's going to play out. Sender is the one.
But no one that can get one shot.
The Outlaw is backing up the same position that your spams are going to come in on. You do 10 damage with a spam, Trex can one-shot him. That's a dangerous combo.
This is the fun thing. Obviously, everyone knows that Pansy is the bias Fnatic fan.
Yes.
But in this round, I am just because I want that smile to disappear off your face.
See, you don't understand, Tom. I've talked to you a lot about Killjoy with an Outlaw. Playing with the turret, it does 10 damage, 12 typically, and then you're able to swing in and knock him down. In this case, Sender is the turret. He's a human turret.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love that. I'm sure no one would take that in a bad way, would it?
He'll love it.
Sender, you're just like a turret.
You're
you
like
know,
a
just
turret.
like Timmy the turret. You're doing like 15 damage with a load of bullets.
Trex's turret. I love it. Oh, Vitality, they won't get the combat towards A, so we won't see that terrible combination. Instead, it is very much going to be a concentrated C hit coming from Fnatic with Showstopper to lead the way.
Thing is,
They got retake camera though, so okay, they check the camera. They see everyone but Killjoy.
I was expecting. Not going to take any damage in the end as the wrong corner was chosen. Nade goes over the top and actually could do far more.
Oh, it was close,
Instead,
man. Nade Tether.
He really is just playing for his life. He's taking over this round.
My God, it's a buy round, bro. He's just popping them all.
Mitch might have a slight smile, but Trex is now just trying to run away to hold on to that Odin. To be honest, it doesn't seem like anybody's stopping Durka at this point.
No. It very much doesn't. He is on fire.
Okay, yeah, he's been really good.
In with this save.
He had a slow start to the year, right?
Loved his utility on a Sova.
He slowly just got better and better.
Grabbing a kill on the Outlaw, immediately picking up
Back
the
to
Odin
old
and going to
ways.
save. Wow, I wish my teammates were like that. Although, I guess it'd be better if he didn't have to save.
Yeah, it'd be better if he wasn't the only one alive of 4
When you were
people
coaching,
the
were
team
players
alive.
responsible for finding lineups, for example, and stuff?
Making the best
Fades,
of a
where the
bad
coaches often
situation,
make the
Tom.
lineups.
It is.
I think our team worked a little bit different to everything. Me and Bacon
9-7, and again, you can't
did
look at much
everything,
more than
basically,
the way
when
they
it came
take
to
the
that
space
kind
is
of
good,
stuff.
but Durka just dancing
But now
around.
I imagine players find stuff.
To try
But
and
yeah,
get him
a lot
killed.
of it was
And
like
he
Bacon.
still hits the head of the second player swinging after the bait. Like it is just how quick he is on the trigger. That's a 23 and 10, and they're still currently behind. And it shows still more needed. I think 30 will be a minimum unless we're going to see some of the other players really step up. It's been a bit quieter for Alpha here than we're used to seeing, especially in his recent form.
Oh, Fnatic. They usually play quite well against an op. You
Got
know, they know
we
when
got the
op's
hero
in play
Odin.
and they avoid it, or they use the util.
We got a
to
late
flush it out.
eye.
Here they know they've saved an Odin and they go A, Tom? Are they crazy? Giving them a chance. But it's only early to take Rubble, to deny the control. And a very important part of this map. Rubble control, we see teams single-handedly win it again and again. Haunt, even if it marks them completely, they're in positions where tracks can't wall
It did enough to make them go away from here, but maybe they realize when they do this eye, they have some kind of read into it, because this was such an insta pivot and insta bust on C, right?
Quickly enough. Runner under pressure again. He doesn't have much to play with. Nade
Oh
on him.
yeah,
He's
so wrecked, man.
There was
They
no
die
way
into
he was
nades,
surviving in
yeah.
that scenario. Safeto's gonna go
That
running in.
sees you, it's
Gonna
perfect.
try and hit the shot, and he does. Takes out.
Oh,
one.
really?
He's actually popped the showstopper as well. Wants a little bit more. He's trying to take this round home.
Hey, 3v3. I mean, he's
Instead,
low
though,
HP, but
Fnatic are backing away.
Sender
There
picks
may
up one of
be
the
3
guns.
players within this site, but that's actually all right.
Oh.
Vitality has a chance to pick up some guns. Timing
Confidence is insane.
good for Sender. Puts it into a 2 versus 2, but bear in mind that safe
Ooh, I
is
love this
desperately
from
low,
Trex.
and Fnatic
Goes
are going to go all the
himself
way to the
here.
other side of the map.
Does he
Yeah,
manage
for
to
a
get
second,
to
like,
A
we might have
faster than
Trex
they
there in
think?
time, but he's a little bit late, lagging behind, looking for a lurk up through B. That's going to give Fnatic the space to at least plant this spike. Safely set up for their post plants. Alpha here, not quite taking safety into account. He's looking for the head peek. He wants to catch it.
It's unlucky. I thought he was going to insta-send.
Safe goes
Thought he was
for
going to
this.
insta-prowl or
5
go over
HP
towards here, then he could
and a
just
Guardian.
react no matter what.
Maybe there is.
Like this would have been a play
he's
for
missed the
B, this
shot.
would have been a play
Now-
early on A.
No, he's still going. He's still fighting. Fair play.
Been
He
very
believed in
solid from
himself,
Fnatic.
but
They're kind of close to a
the
lot of
result
ults
swings
as
to
well.
Fnatic.
So I have a question. There was actually an Odin on the floor just to his left, and
Yep.
he decided not to pick that up and go in with 5 HP. What's your opinion on that?
He's trolling. I believe the correct term is trolling. But, you know, he believed in himself winning the round. Maybe if he had the Odin, he would have. You know, head peek angle and all that. Right, okay. Maybe.
The 5 HP 1v2.
With an Odin, yeah. It could have worked. You can't prove that it wouldn't. But 9-8, 1 round gap. Fnatic certainly back in the swing of things. No Odin for Vitality, so it's going to be a tough round. And the attacking side, they're not quite up there when it comes to the ultimates, but 1 away from a Viper's Pit as well. If that plant goes in for Chronicle, this round will be very tough to pull back into Vitality's favor.
This smoke with the fake TP is really keeping 3 of them here for a long time.
It seems like they might not need it. They
Pretty
really
cool.
are putting the pressure on Runner. That seems to
I
be
mean,
the
they
plan
really
over
are
the
just
last
standing
few
at C
rounds.
all the time.
Let's try and pinpoint this man, but He started off well.
Got no Viper. Got no heavy blockers.
Said, a plant here for
what's going on?
Would be big, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be the one with the spike. Currently in Hero's hands, and he is in an aggressive
Finally,
position.
the voice is dying.
Players already up close.
There.
He's going
and now they realize it. Yeah, there you
Dream.
go. Finally.
I'm pretty sure he's staying with Valorant.
Chronicle to get there, but now he can try and throw in that Viper spit. The stun,
He's been streaming a lot more. You should ask him on
They're
stream.
going to try and pressure him straight off the bat, but he's not won that duel. Safe is down. Even still, the spams have worked, and now it's left all onto Chronicle to clutch, and the retake is clean.
Yeah, that was. What did I miss here? Why?
To hit double digits.
A great angle by Sender as well. Quick double to clean up the last stages of the round. The fact that they have a neural theft as well.
I mean, shout out to Vitality. There's a lot of people here. As soon as they actually invested their all into it, like they were flooding. They had no space.
Double digits found for Vitality.
I would have to watch it again. I missed something.
Well, this was a pretty threatening round, even after finding the opening pick. Now, I think there's going to be an adjustment from Durka. I imagine nades and blast packs are going to be pretty frequent now in on the C side. Same thing that we saw from Vitality on their attack to get rid of the kill throw utility.
Then they went for an absolute play.
Attempt to remove the traps.
This goes here.
Settings midway through, yeah. I think he did Omen Flash before that as well, right?
Break that streak, but it doesn't mean it can't come right back at them. They've definitely got to be careful. That
they're going to be careful they don't.
Tell you what. Straight up, a lot of utility is going to be expended to hold on to that initial
Then they're insta-clearing this, so they can have the fast rotate. No joke. Fnatic are just doing the... We hear them go fast A, then we insta-hit over towards C. That's all they've been at the moment. Are they fast A-ing? Yeah. Then we head over towards here. This is, when was the first time we saw this? NRG playing against PaperX, one of the champs. This is what FNS called the whole time. They go aggro over towards A, yeah, into hit C.
This is where the big blitz play comes in. Sender has an ultimate, but it's not going to be used. Instead, they're focusing on pushing through this choke point safe. Again, down to 5 HP, now down to 1 with the C's. And in a little bit of trouble.
An absolute spam fest.
The wall bangs, the sprays, not quite catching them though. Vitality still
no vision block with Sender.
I
mean, Fnatic win this round.
Time starting to tick
they
down.
have to lose a lot of angels.
And some utility, all they look to do is hold this one out. Haunt still available for Hero, and it's runner left in a 1v4, destroying the util. They know where he is.
They gotta change something over towards C, and they kind of got one more round where they're not completely wrecked money-wise because they take one pass and hit here.
Yeah, I think also
something has to change.
Into that position, the spams can sometimes do enough, but I like the fact that they leave Hero up close. It was
Hero?
like a snake in the grass while they're
he's just so impressive.
Spamming from afar. He's just still sat there making things incredibly awkward. Again, this youngster shows his value. Second on the board, 17 and 11 right now.
Ari Vap with the tier 1, thank you for the 11 months.
Let's go, boys!
And now just one difference. We've seen this many a time, teams with a vast lead over Fnatic.
Well, they're going to do something over towards C.
To slip away, and this is again, when it gets close to equalization, Gorilla's got his second pause.
That's it. Taken out of the chamber here. That last round as well, I think it's sad because I say they took a while, and they did, but when they eventually blitz back in, it's the fact that Hero survives the second swing, which was safe as well. A player that's not often going to give you that chance to spin on a dime and take him down, but here there were a few warning shots before the death blow, and that was enough for Hero. Is also, again, playing fantastic. We've given up on saying it at this point, but for that guy, so young, going down on that stage, coming in as a sub and playing this well, this consistently, you really have to herald him. Eventually, his spot on this team will be given up, and I think he's going to be a hot prospect for anyone who's looking to rebuild.
They 100% talked about C. We've got 4 people fighting here at the moment.
I have to be a little bit nervous because you kind of got to go like.
They're not going to dry swing this though. They use the fades util, right?
Or just keep him around, or maybe just have him there looming in the darkness, almost like the Undertaker, just like stood behind you, like you better be careful.
Oh, you had a bad day today, huh?
But either way, he will be with them for Champions. I think that's
Insta Prowler over towards here, and they realize that someone's actually fighting instead of playing passive, so they probably think the Cypher's somewhere else.
In this matchup, as said, the winner.
Dude, it does look like it feels like a very simple game plan from Fnatic on attack at the moment.
A team that they've been consistently beating, but I said that about
Vitality really play that passive over towards C. Never kind of do the aggro cams normally.
To make it to Champions now, at Grand Final. Just just a map away.
The jump spot, the one of this box. Where are we? One of this
Still
box? Yeah, it's good for
out.
spotting here.
And it could be a long enough road, especially with some weaknesses. Well, mostly nothing but weaknesses, let's say, in this round for Vitality. Pistols, SMGs, and a Guardian.
I'm Brutal with the 16 months. Thank you with the tier 1, man. Appreciate that.
I don't think
Thanks so much.
pull the win from the shadows. For Fnatic, a very patient start. Utility removed on C. Prowler put in. Pressure applied. The lurk out on A. Waiting for an opportunity to pick someone off.
The time is insanely low, bro. Insanely low. We got a trip here. We got 3 people. Looking like when they get denied over towards C, we don't really know what we want to be doing. It's looking a bit like the pistol round again.
They've got to push straight through the smoke, and look where Kix is repositioned to. It's gorgeous from Kix. The Spectre in this round, the highlight. And sure, you'll grab 2.
Yeah, you get a couple of kills, but not the rounds. Okay, what a really good timeout from Vitality. Punished over towards C. Actually showed some presence.
Huge round for them to take away. I don't think even after the pause Gorilla had in his wildest dreams that
Overcooked. It does look like the pistol round again, right?
That they would win multiple battles, that the stun would perfectly hold Durka in place to get the opener, but it was also just how slow Fnatic were. Like, I always get uncomfortable in rounds where you know your opponents have a low buy. Sure, you're going to take your time, you're going to try and feel out the map, but it gets to those last like 15 seconds and that's when you're executing. Because that's where the opposing team, they're going to have gambled, they're going to have taken risks. And well, in this case, all of them paid off. 11 now on the board, economy booming for the side of Vitality.
Yeah, this is a good call from Fnatic though. Straight out over towards A, they know that they're fighting over towards C now, so that means they can actually go out towards A.
He's going to be deep over.
Pretty confident they don't ever want to end A, and they're just trying to play off the fact they have no Viper, so their retakes on B and C are just a lot weaker.
It's the point of call.
Yeah, and
like they might not even go A once.
For post plan. That's a very dangerous tool for Fnatic to have at their disposal. Durka rounding this smoke. He's seen him.
Oh boy, it's so unlucky.
And now he's in trouble.
Now what?
Yeah,
still no plant on this one. Might have to pivot over. Bro, how is this guy always getting that one kill?
Plus kick super low. Operator for safe. There's the shot on
back over towards C.
But they've realized the rotations have come through. Back to the C side, can't go, but so does Safe.
Yeah.
He's blasted his way in just in time.
It's so unlucky.
Nicely done. And that's the spike drop. Problems brewing for Fnatic. Alpha sat with his
keep an eye on Chronicle though. He's making a play that I don't even think they're thinking of.
Time for, hoping that Chronicle can
oh man, he turned around, leg shot.
The leg shot, not enough to take him down.
I mean, this was cool from Safe, right? He was watching the whole time, knowing that his teammates were going to watch, just waiting for that extra person to run in, and then it never happened. So he's like, hold up, where on earth is this other guy? Okay, and they actually end A, but obviously, like, it was never their original plan.
Chronicle left out to make use of this 5 HP by. Well, I was going to say stabbing them in the back. Instead, it's going to be full frontal assault.
It's the 1-for-1. That was both low HP players gone. But it's the confidence that left into Althea. The one gap, the one risk.
It's hard for Sender.
But once he hears any form of drop, any form of sound, even the smoke, it's enough for him to just try and buy the time. For Sender, the goal was to maybe try and get that one to half, but he has no choice but to try and fall back. Hold, at least for a little bit longer. And that's the thing, the time is now already going to be ticking fairly fast. He needs to get this one to half.
Very nice.
And it's not going to be happening.
Very cool from Alpha.
A safe pair of hands when it comes to the clutch. And well, again, the difference comes down.
Chat, something I've never tried. I'm not sure if anyone's even going to know the answer to this. But because, you know, the Killjoy ult is like a wave, right? It's a wave, and that's why sometimes people on the edge mistime it. Can you TP time it, or is it literally too fast?
Just about below the waist, and that's all that he needed to survive for one more kill to take down Kix
even
and give them the 10th round. One away from Vitality. Frustration
can do it
for the defensive side, as they've now been caught. Fnatic are hot on their heels. Oh, that's done damage. Yeah, Sender's gonna be a little scared. But
you can, but it's really hard to time.
I was about to say, he doesn't even have a gun. It's the extra money that they got from that.
Yeah, because it is a wave, so I guess you could do it.
But we'll give them a few extra rifles in this one. Now, Safe is one off a shot.
Not worth the risk, yeah.
There are still possibilities in this round, although so is Durka.
I want to know if it's doable or not, because on paper I guess it is. Fnatic still going with their stuff where they're hitting over towards BC, because we're going to Viper Util, can't retake on this one. And Trex is a bit of a lunatic on that one, but I like it. Oh boy, we're crunching over towards here.
Durka has managed to win at least the initial battle, but Safe is still standing. Low HP though.
I'm really nervous that he's going to pop his ult on this one.
With Spike under their control,
they're kind of okay money-wise, so he shouldn't really, unless he gets a kill, be wanting to use his ult.
Waiting for the repeat from Safe. And now
this is nice, man. I think this was Hero that won the duel onto site against Trex. That was really important.
Chronicle as he falls back towards the door, wall down, and that's his peek from the left. Beautiful stuff. Gorgeous round from Chronicle. And this is what I'm talking about, just a value that you
Vitality
get from
timeout,
having
maybe.
that Viper. First of all, at the start of the round, denying Rubble control, or making it so that if you do push it, you've all got to push past that Viper's wall. You've got to be out in the open. And then, late round, popping it up, denying information from your opponents again and again. And even making some nasty little plays like that.
We cannot.
11?
We cannot. We were full running. Focus.
Oh boy.
11. Vitality, well, exactly as Safe said, they need to focus. This is the time to get it across the line, at least guarantee an overtime in a map that they have fought hard for, but this is Fnatic's pick for a reason, and their attack side is to be feared. The pressure will be applied to Boaster. The one way, though, should keep them back. The showstopper, oh, it's used, but they're a bit hesitant to go for it. Boaster's created some space. Now sitting down in the spawn, and it's not fired
Safe
upon.
not wanting to send this one. I think they might be all fighting it no matter what he's going to get traded.
But we've seen a number of times
The same thing, they go aggro over towards A, they insta-react over towards C.
I think Durka's going to
Any trip shooters?
I think he's hoping to try and chase them down, and he will at least claim the spot. This is somewhere that Vitality love to fight from, and they themselves are going to try and push this back. The thing is, look at the investment into ultimates. Counter Nightfall to try and grab that little bit of extra space. And there is a gap around the side of the pit that they might be able to sneak through, but just look at where Alfia is watching. He is waiting on that edge to try and watch anybody, but they are aware of it. Trades back, keeping things even for now, but Chronicle's pit is still standing. He's in a ratty little spot, just holding to make sure that it's never really removed. And they need to clear him. They need to find him.
And it'd be
he's
impossible with the spam
lurking
here.
Within the darkness.
And
Not being spotted
it's cool
by
what they're
anybody
doing
on this
though.
Vitality
Like
side.
the whole
Finally
game
looks
plan
to
from
strike.
Fnatic is really,
Durka
really smart, and
may
we're
have
always
been
trying to
dropped,
go
but
for
they
this
still
C
haven't
plant.
killed Chronicle. They still haven't found Chronicle, who just hides.
Always trying to go for this C plant where you know that they don't have the Viper, so you know there's never vision block. You can always spam it. That's what maybe wasn't the best example because of the ult, but yeah, I think what we're seeing here is probably the best attack game plan of how to play against the Breach.
Like he is just literally just sneaking.
Like, this is a whole game plan based off the fact of what they got no Viper. We can just take C, and if they try and retake, we are gonna win every single after plant.
His orb position so that he could dodge anyone that might be able to spot him on a pit.
Think about this, right? We got no Viper. The Viper would normally put a smoke here, so you got the Omen, so you got two smokes with the Omen. A lot of the times when you get into a retake, you don't have two smokes because you're using a smoke to block. And then when you retake, you want to block to get into the site. But then they've always got a plant that is like hero here for the actual after plant, so you never have an extra smoke for the spike so that you can see. Whereas normally you have like a Viper, blocks the vision, then you can use the smoke on the spike itself. Whereas Fnatic,
now just one away from
they've done a really good job of just wrecking them because they have no Viper.
They got a stun off on a player. Durka was
have Fnatic gone A once? Not with the intention to go A. They've ended A in a 2v2 or whatever
They're
else.
left in a 5 versus 3. Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game plan diff in my opinion.
Fights, but you got to commend Fnatic for being able to punish again and again.
Yeah, it was a headshot through the cage from Chronicle. B-side now completely under the control of Fnatic. Only Trex stands hoping to try and maybe get a little bit of information. Kicks definitely has a good
yeah, we
idea
don't
of
even
where
know who
Boaster is,
to
but
we don't even know who to
matter.
credit for
The
this
plant
one.
will be coming in.
Got
No ultimates to be
Boaster,
played
Elmer
with.
Puddy,
Looking
Mini,
to
and Anders
potentially
now.
try and challenge this guy with just Alfia sitting so close.
Credit the whole team, I
Even
guess.
Still though, right now that time Mitch is already ticking. They need to get a move on.
Alpha's just lobbed
Sleepy Bear, 54 with the Prime. Thank you so much for the 7 months, dude.
Further slowing the round, making them walk into the angle of Boaster. And now Kicks, well, it's a formality.
Okay, really cool.
13 to 11. Vitality.
Really cool. Lovely comeback from them.
Fight, but in the end, Fnatic sneak up and take the win. Sunset.